Emergency episode at an unusual time today, but you can probably already tell it from the video title. There is a very time-sensitive airdrop that I want to make you aware of. And you can do with that information whatever you want. You can like it, you cannot like it. All I'm doing is just make you aware that this exists, and you can then decide for yourself if you want to claim the airdrop or not. Anyways, I talked about it yesterday briefly, about yesterday's dump, most likely caused by Grayscale outflows from the ETF. And on Monday, we had over $300 million in outflows from Grayscale, whereas yesterday, we only saw 81 million, and the net flows yesterday, as of April 2nd, have been in the positive. So we have seen $40 million net inflows for the ETF, which is great, right? You can tell how much BlackRock and Fidelity are absorbing the sell pressure from Grayscale. So BlackRock alone, $150 million in one single day. Fidelity, $44 million in a single day. Whereas we saw ARK Invest actually now higher outflows than Grayscale, $87 million, which is surprising. And as a result of that, you can see the Bitcoin price slightly recovering. We're back above 66K after going down actually to below 65. We wicked down here to 64, 500, 600. But when you really think back about the max pain that we suffered in the bear market, early 2023, summer 2023 even, right? After the bank collapse, USDC DPEG, Terra, obviously, Celsius, BlockFi, all these big companies, multi-billion-dollar companies and projects. Now, a lot of these founders are actually in jail. SBF just got sentenced for 25 years. So it seems like if you think back at that time, if somebody told you that we would see a rally between October 2023 and pretty much February or March 2024, within those 4 or 5 months, if you were told that at the bottom here, around 17K, you wouldn't believe it. You wouldn't believe it. You would say, this is crazy. You're a moon boy. You're talking BS. It's not going to happen. We're doomed, or at least we're going to enter a 5-year bear market, right? That's what a lot of people said back then. But those that sticked around, that survived the bear market, that are coming out of this, for them, if we are at 66, 64, 69, doesn't matter, right? We are back in the greens. We are back in the big greens, and we have the halving coming up, which is the biggest and pretty much the only fundamental that Bitcoin has hard-coded into the Bitcoin network, into the Bitcoin code base. So if we look into the Cosmos ecosystem price performance more specifically, we can see Atom $11.14. It actually went below $11 yesterday, I think $10.60 or something. Akash AKT, $4.44, which is surprising after they got listed on Coinbase. It has gone down only pretty much. But there were a couple of interesting proposals that passed here on Akash network. Number one, Akash Accelerate 2024, which is a full-day conference that they are planning to host. I think it's around Consensus in Austin. And then there's also another proposal which just passed actually, which is the Coinbase Learning Rewards campaign. So Coinbase has a learn and earn platform where basically users get onboarded by getting educated about a project, right? And this seems to be a big deal, right? Because they are going all in with this, $8 million, around 1.6 million AKT for this campaign. And their estimations are basically that this campaign could onboard 500,000 of AKT holders through that one single campaign on Coinbase, right? And potentially this could also boost trading volumes on Coinbase and get more liquidity in, which then would stabilize the price and even have upside, create new upside for the price, right? So I think this is very interesting. This proposal went through. It also went through with very high approval rates. So that's also one to keep an eye on. But now let's get into the main topic of today's video, and that is the Hava Memecoin Airdrop. And before I even talk about what it is, what it does, how you can claim it, let me talk about two things and get this very clear and very straight. The Hava Memecoin is a very time-sensitive airdrop where you only have 24 hours to claim it. As with every airdrop, you should not have any expectations to get any monetary value out of this, right? Airdrops are not there to make you rich. Airdrops are not there to give you free money that you can retire. Airdrops are user onboarding and marketing spends, basically, right? And meme coins in general are not meant to be technical innovations, right? Meme coins are community culture in the end of the day. And all that Hava aims to resolve is the meme coin problem that we have in Cosmos, right? Hava is trying to catch up with the Solana meme coins, the Avalanche meme coins, and the Ethereum meme coins, because right now we don't really have a lot of meme coin hype in Cosmos, right? While all the other ecosystems are pumping in Cosmos, we feel like we're left behind. And I made a tweet another day where I said, Cosmos shouldn't force meme coin culture. We don't have it right now, right? We shouldn't force it. Some of the previous attempts felt very forced, in my view, as in cosmonauts really want to push this through and to enforce meme coin culture while we just simply don't have it, right? So I said in a tweet also that meme coin culture comes organically. And someone also commented and said, if it's meant to happen, it will happen, right? And there are many attempts in the pipeline, which, to be honest, I feel like that's also what we need, right? We need various attempts. Many of them will fail, but maybe one or two will succeed. I think that Berachain, for example, is primed to become a big meme in crypto because it's already in the name, right? It's already in the branding. It's part of the branding. And their Twitter game is absolute top notch. Now we have Hava, which is kind of an unknown or pseudonymous team, I guess, that we don't know who they are, what's their background. And all we know is that they are launching this token, they're launching this coin, which is a dog coin. So it's not a cat coin, it's a dog coin. Their airdrop announcement had 835,000 impressions. So they know how to game Twitter, right? They know how to game Twitter because they could actually be the ones to bring the Cosmos meme coin community to life. Now, I personally don't know if this is going to be a success. All I'm trying to do is to make you aware that this is happening, right? One common question, actually two common questions I got also under my tweet here that I made, where I talked about, that you only have a couple hours left, is about, what about tier stakers? What about also Leap Wallet is not compatible, and all these kind of things. So let me address this from my understanding. If you come here, you connect a wallet. Yes, there is an issue with Leap. You can't do it with Leap right now. So you would basically have to export your Leap keys into Kepler and claim it with Kepler. And you only, if you connect your wallet, you only ask to connect your Cosmos Hub, Injective, and Agoric wallets. But from my understanding, I also asked the team. They basically told me that Cosmos Hub is one category of wallets that also pulls your balances from Juno, from Chihuahua, from all these other OG Cosmos chains, and Osmosis, I guess, as well. Then you have Injective, which is another category that pulls your balances from Celestia and Dimension and others. And then you have Agoric as a standalone category for itself, right? But those are basically enough to pull all balances from all chains that are connected, right? So this includes your Celestia balances as well. So if you connect here, I already opted in, you don't actually have to sign a transaction, right? And the next question is also about how risky is this to claim? But the fact that on Hava, you don't have to approve a transaction or sign a transaction, which would mean that if you sign a transaction that includes auth-C verification, that means you would basically delegating Hava or whoever is the recipient on the other end the right to get access to your wallet, and then they could drain your wallet, right? But here you're not even signing a transaction. So you can basically just click here on opt-in, and then we'll tell you that you're opted in successfully. And this is from my C2 wallet that I got here an allocation. I think, it's 27,101,357 Hava coins that I'm getting. And the stake button is not live yet. That's also a frequent question I got under my post where, you can't stake it yet. And as a best practice, I strongly recommend you, especially if you're using only a hot wallet, that you go there and regularly disconnect your wallet from all websites that you've been connected to. So you go here on Kepler, you click on the top left, then you click on settings, and then you click on security and privacy. Then you see this here, connected websites, and you just click disconnect all. This is the roadmap, the full roadmap, and this goes back to what I said earlier. There's no technical innovation here. This is all about bootstrapping community culture and meme coin culture in Cosmos, and another attempt in the Cosmos ecosystem. So it's all about high APIs, right? It's all about staking and liquidity bootstrapping. For example, here there will apparently be later tonight. So after you watch this video, you claim your airdrop, there will be a window for 4 days, I guess, where you can long-term stake your Hava. I guess you would lock them up and then you would have an extra APY boost. So this is 25,000% APY. I don't know if this is a meme itself or if this is actually based on calculations here. Then you have long-term staking, 9,600 APR. But then there will be liquidity deployed on Osmosis. This is also the primarily place where they want to deploy liquidity, which I think makes sense. Osmosis is the flagship DEX with the most liquidity by far in the Cosmos ecosystem. So this is around, what is it, 5-6 days after today. That's where you can have even the highest APY, 68,000 APY percentage. And yeah, after that, there will be ordinary liquidity mining. And from there on, it's probably in God's hands, to be honest. I don't know what will happen after that, because obviously this is a strong case for people to lock up liquidity, lock up their tokens and their airdrops. But from there on, I don't know if they will reach out and build communities also from the Solana ones, from the Avalanche communities. I don't know if they have a proper game plan for really branching out and have a big splash also outside of Cosmos. But I think the first attempt is really to reunite the Cosmos meme coin culture, right? That's why also they're airdropping to multiple communities here. You can actually see that here. So they're airdropping to Atom, Osmo, Juno, Tia, Injective, Hava, and Wasmo stakers and holders. Also, Milky Way, Quicksilver, P-Stake, Stride, all the liquid staking providers are considered, and also Bad Kids holders, right? So they're really going hard on like all Cosmos communities, pretty much, the major ones, to get them aligned here, right? So this is interesting. And yeah, I wish them nothing but the best. I hope they don't mess things up. As always, and as I said earlier, this is highly, highly experimental. You should not have any expectations. If anyone says anything on Twitter, or if you just think like, oh, if this goes to $1, right, I would be so rich. But yeah, you also have to read about their tokenomics. I think it's in the Hava paper, if I'm not mistaken. There should be a tag about tokenomics. Here it is. So the original total supply was 100 trillion, and then they burned half of the supply while increasing the airdrop allocation. And my assumption is also that the airdrop allocation after the claim window is done, right, after the first 24 hours, they will redistribute the unclaimed amounts to those who claimed. So basically those who claimed get a higher percentage, a higher allocation from the airdrop. I personally think that they should also maybe consider having another round for those that missed out, maybe those that were on Easter kind of vacations or travels and maybe just unplugged for 1 or 2 days. Because yes, I agree, it is a very short time window. So I hope, depending on how high the claim percentage is, right? If it's above 90%, I guess they don't need to do another round for claimers. But if it's only 60 or 70%, I guess it makes sense to say, hey, we do another round for claiming. There's another maybe 48-hour window. A portion of that goes to those who claimed, and the rest goes to those who just came late, and maybe they get a lower allocation, but they still get some tokens, right? I think something like that might make sense. That's all about it. And you can really tell here also like the vast majority is really deployed for liquidity mining, right? In terms of incentives and tokenomics. So yeah, this is all about Hava coin. Again, no expectations. I'm just an informant. I personally claimed. I'm probably also going to lock it up and yeah, long-term stake, whatever that means. But also, I don't expect that this is going to make me rich now, right? Another update also from Saga. I talked to you about it yesterday as well. But Saga is very, very, very close to release Mainnet, to launch Mainnet. This is one of the most highly anticipated launches for me personally, but I guess also for a lot of the cosmonauts. This has been in the works for many years. And Saga is primed to fill the gap when it comes to gaming in Cosmos, right? We don't really have a gaming ecosystem right now in Cosmos. Saga is there to fix that for good. And they're also aligned with Polygon, with Avalanche, and some players outside of Cosmos, right? They're also in that bucket, I would say, that while they are absolute Cosmos OGs, full on build using Cosmos technology, deploying shared security as well, and yeah, build on a Cosmos SDK and all these kind of things, they're not necessarily branding and bragging about being Cosmos, right? They're just focused on the product, on the vertical, on the narrative, and that is gaming and the multiverse, right? We with Tuxedo are also one of the validators here. So when the chain goes live and you get your airdrop, you will be able to delegate to us as well. And this might be very, very soon. The Pegasus testnet V1 has been depreciated, and they're now just launched another final Saga testnet before mainnet then goes live. So everything is ready. I guess we're just days away from mainnet launch. Probably latest, I would say 2 weeks. 2-3 weeks. But in any case, it's going to happen this month, the month of April, and it is going to be a very, very interesting month. That's all about Saga. And lastly, also quick updates here on interesting Cosmos Hub proposals that are right now up for voting. So I want to drive your awareness so that you go over and vote on these proposals. If you're an Atom staker, if you're eligible to vote. So not only because voting increases your chances also to be eligible for airdrops, but also because those are important proposals that shape the future of the Cosmos Hub. We have the permission Cosmos proposal where I made a breakdown about it and shared my thoughts in a recent video. And interestingly, this is super close, right? We are 29% yes, 25% no. The vast majority actually is abstaining from that. And but we also haven't reached quorum yet, and we still have 5 days remaining for that. So a lot of people are probably just waiting, especially validators, for later stages to then cast their votes. We also have ICS 2.0 partial set security, which would bring Illis network as well as Aether to the Cosmos Hub, and also Landslide and Lorenzo protocol. Lorenzo is the Bitcoin L2, and that is coming to the Cosmos Hub, which is very, very big. Landslide is doing AVAX restaking, which is also very big, and Ellis is a perpetuals exchange that is also now very close to launch. And we're also now a validator with Tuxedo, so that's very cool that we also got to join and secure Ellis network. So I think it's between Ellis and Aether, which one is going to launch first using partial set security. But I think this still takes a couple of weeks anyways, because this is only a signaling proposal. After that passes, there are still 8 days remaining. Then there will be a final phase to prepare for preparing the code to be integrated into the Cosmos Hub code base. And then I think that process would take another couple of weeks at least, right? Maybe 2 months or something like that, before it would then be live on mainnet. And the last proposal which just went on mainnet is the DCF Agoric proposal. I made a full video about that the other day. So if you haven't watched my video and you saw this proposal, I strongly recommend you to watch my video where I talk about this proposal. It's about IST. There was also some conversations around the ratio between liquid staking with Stride and P-Stake. If you don't know what I'm talking about now, then please watch my video where I'm explaining that in full detail, and then you should be able to make an informed decision. That's it for today. Again, Hava airdrop, super time sensitive. So check that out now and then decide for yourself if you want to claim it or not. But yeah, that's all I'm doing, making you aware that those things exist, and you can take your own informed decisions and your own due diligence and your own research from here on after watching this video. That said, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Stay safe until then and be good.